Listen carefully because this is not random, and it is not just another video filling up your screen while your mind is somewhere else. This may be the moment that interrupts the pressure you have been carrying in silence. If you have been smiling in public and worrying in private, if you have been checking your account too often, stretching every dollar, doing the math again and again, wondering how long you can keep acting like everything is fine, then stay here. Do not scroll. Do not click away. Give me a few minutes and let your breathing slow down because sometimes the biggest shift in your life does not begin outside of you. It begins inside you in one clear moment when fear loses its grip and faith starts speaking again. What if the breakthrough you have been asking for does not arrive like noise, but like a quiet inner reset that changes how you think, pray, speak, and move? What if today is the day the pressure stops leading and peace starts leading? Stay with me because what I am about to say may reach deeper than money. It may touch your strength, your focus, your hope, and the part of you that almost gave up. And before this is over, I want to lead you into a strong prayer and a new way of speaking over your life so you stop living from lack and start living with expectation. Maybe you came here tired, not lazy, not weak, just tired. Tired of trying to stay positive while pressure keeps knocking. Tired of making plans that get interrupted by another bill, another delay, another problem you did not expect. Tired of carrying responsibility while your heart quietly asks, when will it finally get easier? If that is you, hear this clearly. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not failing because the road has been heavy. Some seasons feel silent, but silence does not mean nothing is happening. Think of a seed buried in the ground. From the surface, it looks like nothing, no sign, no movement, no proof. But under that dark soil, life is pushing forward. Roots are stretching, strength is forming, timing is doing its work. That is how many changes begin. Hidden first, visible later. And many people walk away too early because they judge the full story by one painful chapter. Do not do that to your life. This moment is not your whole story. This pressure is not your final address. What feels delayed is not always denied. What feels slow is not always empty. There are things being arranged that you cannot yet see. There are answers moving toward you before you can name them. So stay to the end because the way you think in the quiet season often decides what you walk into in the next one. Now picture this for a second. In front of you is a door with your name on it. Not a weak little idea, a real door. A door of change, a door of provision, a door of peace, a door of new movement in the exact place where things have felt stuck. And maybe until now it has looked shut. Maybe you pushed on it with effort. Maybe you cried in front of it. Maybe you stood there so long that part of you stopped expecting it to move at all. But imagine this, the atmosphere shifts before the evidence does. The handle moves before the whole door opens. You feel a lift in your spirit before you see the result in your hands. That matters. Do not ignore small inner shifts. Many turning points begin there. A little peace in the same old situation, a fresh thought where fear used to live, a quiet sense that says, hold on, do not quit yet. That is not nothing. That may be the beginning. And if your heart has been heavy, let it rest for a moment. If your thoughts have been crowded with worst case pictures, let them slow down because there is another way to live. Not by pretending problems are fake, not by denying facts, but by refusing to let fear be the only voice in the room. Stay with me here, because the moment you stop worshiping the problem, you start noticing the possibilities that were there all along. A lot of people wait for visible proof before they let themselves believe again. They say, when I see the money, then I will relax. When the answer shows up, then I will trust. When the door opens, then I will have peace. But life does not usually work in that order. Peace often comes first. Faith often comes first. The inner yes often comes before the outer result. A thought becomes a plan becomes movement, movement becomes change. That is why two people can stand in the same storm and still live in two completely different worlds inside. One agrees with fear, one agrees with possibility. One keeps saying nothing good ever happens for me. The other says maybe help is closer than I think. One keeps feeding defeat. The other keeps making room for a better outcome. And that inner agreement changes everything. What you repeat inside yourself shapes what you notice. What you notice shapes your decisions, and your decisions shape what happens next. So ask yourself honestly, what have you been agreeing with lately? The voice that says you will always struggle, or the quieter truth that says this chapter can still turn? Do not underestimate that question. It is not small. Inner language becomes outer behavior faster than most people realize. If you keep rehearsing defeat, you begin to move like defeat is normal. But if you start speaking hope with intention, your eyes begin to open, your posture changes, and your courage slowly returns. This is why your words matter so much, not because words are magic by themselves, but because repeated words train the mind and direct attention. Every day, people speak over their lives without thinking, I never have enough. Nothing works for me. I am always late. I always miss my chance. I cannot catch a break. It is always hard. And little by little, those sentences become a mental home. They become familiar. Then familiar becomes normal. Then normal starts deciding behavior. But you can interrupt that pattern. You can speak differently. You can pray differently. Instead of saying, I do not have enough, say provision is finding its way to me. Instead of saying, no doors ever open, say, new opportunities are being prepared even now. Instead of saying, I always miss it, say, I am being positioned for the right moment. Hear the difference. One closes the mind, the other opens it. One builds heaviness, the other creates room to breathe. And when expectation changes, you start noticing things you used to miss: a useful idea, a skill you ignored, a person who can help, a chance that looked small at first. Do not skip this part because many breakthroughs appear first as a change in language, then a change in mindset, then a change in action, and only after that, a change in visible results. So if you prayed yesterday and still felt pressure today, keep going. Not as performance, not as empty repetition, as training, as alignment, as a way of keeping your heart pointed toward what you still believe can happen. And please remember this: small signs matter. People miss their own progress because they are waiting for fireworks, but life often changes in pieces. A better habit matters, a clearer thought matters, a stronger boundary matters, a conversation that opens your mind matters, one new contact matters, one honest correction matters, one peaceful morning after weeks of inner noise matters. Never talk down to small beginnings. They carry momentum inside them. One open door can lead to a hallway of doors you could not see before. One good decision can break a pattern that has followed you for years. One brave move can shift the way you see yourself. So do not despise the early stage. Protect it, nurture it, follow it. If your mind is changing, that matters. If your discipline is growing, that matters. If you are learning to pause before speaking defeat, that matters. If you are becoming more careful with money, more honest with your habits, more willing to learn, more ready to act, that matters. Change is not always loud. Sometimes it is quiet at first, and then suddenly the results become impossible to ignore. Stay with me because the next part is important. A lot of people ask for a different life, but they keep feeding the same patterns. They ask for increase, but refuse wisdom. They ask for open doors, but stay trapped in old thinking. They ask for new outcomes, but keep speaking old fear. This is where the shift must become real. Pray with clarity, speak with clarity. Many people say, I just want things to get better. But better is vague. Better has no shape. Better can mean anything. And when your focus is blurry, your attention gets scattered. So be direct. I welcome wise opportunities. I welcome steady income. I welcome right timing. I welcome useful ideas. I welcome favor in rooms where I used to feel invisible. I welcome courage to move when the moment comes. I welcome discipline to handle what I have well. I welcome peace in my mind and strength in my decisions. That kind of prayer gives your heart a target. It helps your mind recognize answers when they show up. Because answers do not always come in the form you imagined. Sometimes provision shows up through a talent you forgot, sometimes through learning a new skill, sometimes through a conversation you almost canceled, sometimes through a habit that saves you from waste, sometimes through healing your confidence so you can finally walk through the door that was already open. So pray clearly, but stay flexible. Expect good, but do not try to control every detail. Let your words build readiness, not pressure. Let them create peace, not panic. And if this is speaking to you, keep listening because we are not just talking about money. We are talking about the inner position that allows you to see, receive, and carry what you have been praying for. Some people receive an opportunity and ruin it because their inner world was never prepared. But your preparation starts now. Gratitude is part of that preparation. Real gratitude, not fake smiles, not forced pretending. True gratitude is strength. It lifts your eyes off constant lack and reminds you that not everything is broken. Even in a hard season, something is still working. Something is still holding. Something is still available. Something is still alive. It may feel small. It may look ordinary, but once you notice it honestly, your perspective starts to widen. You stop seeing only what is missing. You begin to see resources, lessons, protection, support, and signs that you were carried farther than fear said you would be. Gratitude keeps you grounded. Expectation keeps you moving forward. You need both. Be thankful for what is present and still make room for more. That balance is powerful. It keeps you from becoming desperate, and it also keeps you from becoming passive. You stay calm but alert, peaceful but ready, content but still growing. That changes the tone of your prayer. Instead of begging from fear, you begin speaking from trust. I am thankful for what has kept me. I am ready for what is next. I am not trapped in this chapter. I am not limited to what I see today. That kind of prayer removes panic from your voice. It puts strength back into your spirit. And here is something people do not talk about enough. Gratitude also changes the way you show up around others. It softens bitterness, it sharpens awareness, it makes you easier to connect with. And many opportunities come through people. Never forget that. The way you carry yourself can welcome connection or shut it down. Consistency is where all of this becomes real. Anybody can feel strong for one night. Anybody can make one bold declaration when emotion is high. But what happens on the ordinary morning? What happens when the pressure comes back? What happens when nothing looks different yet? That is where consistency matters, not intensity for a minute, stability over time. Real change is built through repeated faith, repeated focus, repeated words, repeated action, repeated refusal to sink back into the old version of yourself. This is where your roots go deep. This is where your mind gets trained. This is where belief stops depending on mood and starts becoming part of your character. And when that happens, you become harder to shake. You stop rising and falling with every message, every number, every delay, every moment of bad news. You become steadier, stronger, clearer, and that steadiness helps you notice small breakthroughs, a stronger habit, a wiser response, a little door that opens, a better decision than the one you would have made 6 months ago. If you are inconsistent, you will miss these things. You will dismiss them because they do not look dramatic enough. But if you stay steady, you will recognize their value. You will act on them. You will build on them. That is how momentum grows, quietly first, then powerfully. So if you have been starting and stopping, let today be the day you become more stable. Not perfect, stable, not loud, consistent. Because a steady person can carry what an unstable person would drop, you also have to guard your thoughts. Fear will speak, doubt will show up, old memories will try to remind you of every time things did not work out. You may hear that inner voice say, why hope again? Why pray again? Why try again? Nothing ever stays. But you do not have to obey every thought that enters your mind. You can answer it. You can lead your inner world instead of letting it lead you. When fear says it will never change, answer it. Say, I see the fear, but I will not build my future on it. When delay says maybe this is all there is, answer it. Say, I see the delay, but I will not call it the end. When pressure says panic now, answer it. Say, I will move with wisdom, not desperation. This is how you protect your peace. Not by pretending negative thoughts never appear, but by refusing to let them become your ruler. Your mind needs leadership. Your heart needs direction, and your words can provide both. Repeating truth is not pointless. It is reinforcement. It is training. It is how stronger patterns get built. The more you return to focused prayer, clearer speech, and intentional thinking, the more natural they become. Then your actions begin to match your faith. You become more responsible with what you already have, more willing to learn, more ready when opportunity knocks. Faith without action gets shallow, but faith that shapes action becomes powerful. It turns hope into movement. It turns prayer into readiness. It turns belief into alignment. And that is when visible change begins to find you more easily. So now let this settle into your spirit. Release the old script. Release the tired sentence that says your life has to stay the way it has been. Release the agreement with lack. Release the habit of expecting disappointment before the day even starts. Release the idea that because it has been hard, it must always be hard. That is not wisdom. That is exhaustion talking, and exhaustion does not get the final word. Say this quietly if you need to. I release fear. I release old disappointment. I release the belief that closed doors define me. I welcome wisdom. I welcome provision. I welcome favor. I welcome clear direction. I welcome healthy discipline. I welcome courage to move when the right moment appears. I welcome peace in my heart and strength in my mind. What has felt delayed will not be wasted. What has felt hidden is not forgotten. What has felt impossible is not final. I am not chained to old patterns. I am not trapped in old language. I am being renewed in how I think. I am being strengthened in how I live. I am becoming ready for what is next. Sit with that for a moment. Do not rush past it. Sometimes a strong declaration does more than encourage you for a few seconds. It breaks agreement with inner language that has drained your strength for years, and that break matters because the day you stop feeding the old story is the day its power starts to weaken, quietly at first, but truly. Massive results are rarely built in one dramatic moment. Most of the time, they are built through repeated inner alignment and repeated outer action. A person changes because they keep showing up. They keep praying. They keep learning. They keep adjusting. They keep refusing to return to the smaller, weaker version of themselves. Then one day the results start speaking louder. What was once invisible becomes obvious. What felt far away begins to feel normal. What looked impossible starts looking natural. That is why you cannot judge your future by one hard week or one painful season. Growth often looks unimpressive before it becomes undeniable. So if life has felt slow, do not mistake slow for dead. If progress has felt small, do not mistake small for worthless. Keep building, keep believing, keep acting on what you know, keep responding to the quiet signs, keep honoring the hidden work, because life often changes while people are busy calling it unchanged. And maybe that is exactly where you are right now. Maybe more is happening than you realize. Maybe the lesson is strengthening you. Maybe the pressure is sharpening you. Maybe the delay is teaching you endurance, wisdom, maturity, and self control that you will need when greater responsibility arrives. Nothing honest is wasted. No faithful step is wasted. No sincere prayer is wasted. No act of discipline is wasted. Even the days that feel plain may be training you for the answers you asked for. So do not quit in the middle of becoming ready. And as we come closer to the end, hear this deeply. Your story is not over. Your future is not locked by current pressure. Your provision is not limited to what you can see today. New ideas can come. New strength can come. New habits can come. New favor can come. New income can come. New peace can come. New direction can come. And all of it can begin with an inner shift that changes how you pray, how you think, how you speak, and how you move. Let today be the day you stop talking like lack owns you. Let today be the day you stop waking up and bowing to fear before the morning even begins. Let today be the day you become more careful with your words, more intentional with your thoughts, more grateful for what is present, and more expectant for what is still on the way. And when the answer comes, whether it arrives as a call, a meeting, a wise idea, a fresh connection, a new opportunity, an open door, or a sudden clarity that changes everything, do not shrink back. Move with it. Be ready for it. If this message has stirred something in you, do not let it stay as inspiration only. Carry it with you. Repeat the declarations. Guard your mind. Use wisdom with money. Stay teachable. Stay alert. Stay ready. Because the next answer may not come with noise. It may come quietly, but quiet does not mean weak. Sometimes the strongest changes arrive that way. And now, before you leave, take this final prayer into your heart. Let it become personal. Let it become real. God, bring peace where there has been panic. Bring clarity where there has been confusion. Bring wisdom where there has been waste. Bring courage where there has been hesitation. Open the right doors and close the wrong ones. Send the right ideas, the right helpers, the right timing, and the right strength for this season. Heal the mindset of lack. Break the habit of defeat. Teach these hands to handle well what is already present and prepare this life for more. Let fear lose its voice. Let faith rise again. Let discipline grow. Let favor find its way. Let hidden potential come alive. Let tired hope breathe again. And if the road has been long, let endurance turn into reward. If the nights have been heavy, let morning bring fresh strength. If the heart has been discouraged, let peace speak louder than pressure. I will not call myself stuck. I will not call my future closed. I will not say the hard season is the whole story. I choose better words. I choose wiser steps. I choose steady faith. I choose to believe that what is meant for my life can still reach me. So I will stay open. I will stay ready. I will stay grateful. I will stay watchful. And I will keep moving forward until the visible result catches up with the invisible work already happening inside me. If you felt this, hold on to it. Your next chapter may be closer than you think.